municipal.
It's-
Plus we got the match.
Yep. Well, there's a 60, I think it's, I can try to play it on them. First 2025.
Thank you.
It's a year plaza.
I'm gonna get myself in trouble. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order and we'll start with the pledge of the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, there's no public participation on the sign-in sheet. We'll have the approval of the minutes. I make a motion that we approve them.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Code enforcement report.
All right, for the period ending 9/28, we issued 14 building permits with a total construction value of $534,729.75. There was a new house, some solar, a couple of zoning permits, that type of thing.
The new house is not where we had the zoning
Yes,
thing.
yep, Crystal Ridge.
Crystal, I just didn't know what number it was.
I drove past tonight, I think they're doing the rough work, electrical, plumbing, mechanical. So, first thing on the report. .604 Crisscross Road. I had met out there maybe 3 weeks ago with somebody, and there's a lot of storage of materials in the exterior of the building, which is not permitted with the zoning permit that I issued. So I issued a notice of violation. We've got 30 days to get those either off the property or inside. Scott and I do have a meeting set up with their engineer and somebody from the business to go over some things on Thursday at the property. Some zoning issues and concerns with the land development plan. 18 Crystal Cave Road, which is a Kutztown Temple. That variance was granted at that zoning hearing. 53 Crystal Ridge Road. I went to post the property, and lucky me, I found it was in compliance, so that one will be closed out. .175 Hard Hill Road. Had received a complaint about some things that were placed on the property that were within the setbacks. I had gone out, there were 3 sheds that were located in the front yard. I did meet with the property owner just to verify the location where he was gonna put them, and that was fine where they were gonna go. So I would anticipate that those sheds had been moved out of the front yard. That was supposed to take place, I think, on Tuesday last week. So that should be good. 13929 Kutztown Road, which is the old Kirbyville Hotel. We have received revised plans for the MVPs, so hopefully we'll be able to get that permit issued as well. And I think that might be pretty much what I have. Flip through it here. There were a couple properties with washout. One was on Saucony. I think another one was on Fleetwood Mines Road. They were taken care of. So I think we're in pretty good shape. Any questions?
Nope.
Oh, and I had been over to the solar farm as well this evening just to take a quick glance at that. And everything seems like it's being maintained properly. There's still some high weeds interwoven in the fence. I think they're dead. Hopefully until spring we won't have that issue anymore either. But it looks pretty good.
All right. Do you have any questions? Okay, SEO report. Doesn't seem like anything major there.
There's a lot there.
Police report, chief.
Thank you. We handled 156 incidents in September, 24 crash investigations. We issued 18 traffic citations, 2 non-traffic arrests, some additional traffic checks, 13 hours worth of that. Total 37 vehicle stops, 14 hours of criminal investigations follow-up, 8 hours of court time. We investigated 6 reportable crimes, including drug possession, harassment, PFA violation, a dog complaint, fraud complaint, a threats case, 3 arrests were made in the above incidents, and we still have several that are pending. Personnel, the only thing I had is I had a guy out on light duty for about 2 weeks from a knee injury he sustained during a foot pursuit and arrest. He's back to full duty. And we're still working on the 2025 budget. And we're also looking to, we will be applying for a grant for some new equipment and possibly cameras, including LPRs, license plate readers. So we'll see where that goes. But that's our intentions.
How close are you to having a budget?
What's that?
How close are you to having a budget? Budget, you said 2020.
Well, we are still working on it, but Fleetwood approved theirs Monday.
Okay, because we didn't get anything. So I guess I gotta reach out to them.
Oh, you didn't get it?
We got numbers, but I didn't see the budget.
Oh, I thought that was sent to you.
Not that you didn't get anything, Jen.
No, just the police budget, that was it, that I sent over to you.
The police budget?
Yeah.
You got the budget?
Yeah.
Okay, I take it back. Somehow got lost in my email.
Yeah, it's all good. I thought, the only reason I knew it is because I know Chris, I think I was CC'd on it maybe,
Yeah,
that he
yeah.
sent it to you,
Yeah,
so
Chris sent it to
that's
them.
why I was confused as well.
I didn't see him, so I gotta look a little more. Maybe you can resend.
Yep, absolutely.
No worries.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Virginville Fire Company report. Nobody here from the fire company. Walnut Town Fire report. Nobody here from Walnut Town. Any questions on those? Okay, Lifeline ambulance. Lifeline provides coverage for most of the township. I'd say 95% of the township. And they would like a contract. Last year we gave them 7,000. They're insistent on 18,000 for the next 2 years based on the population, and then it increases to probably 21 or 22,000. They're struggling with funding, Medicare, the whole 9 yards. So we have that in the budget for this year out of the general fund, but we will look at next year somehow incorporating that to the fire tax, changing the fire tax, maybe talking to the fire companies and coming out of that budget or using that money for making it a fire and ambulance. Emergency services tax, yeah. So that's on discussion for next year. We didn't want to drop a bomb on anybody this year, but just so that's where we're headed with that, trying. And I think all the ambulance services, from my understanding, are running into the same problem. I've had 3 meetings with Lifeline, and Fleetwood was involved, Alice's Township, all the local townships that they service, and we need ambulance coverage, so we're gonna address that in this budget. Could you make a note, Michelle? I want you to look over the contract that they sent us.
The lifeline contract? Yes.
Because I don't know that I'm interested in going for 5 years, but maybe 2 years. Look at it.
Did you forward that to Chris or?
I don't know.
I think I forwarded it to him, but I can do it again.
Well, can you just send it to me?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Any questions on that? Okay, Saucony Creek's having their annual run. Similar to the last couple of years, it looks like it's something that or did they have it?
Yeah, on the 19th. This
On the
was the one that you guys,
Yeah,
you just ratifying it.
We're just ratifying the approval to let that happen with the same insurance requirements, so
That's all there.
most of the window okay. I make a motion that we ratify that.
I'll second.
All in favor? Donation to the Berks County Solid Waste Department. I don't think we did that in the past. Have we?
Yeah, 2021, we donated $500. 2022, we donated $250, and it has not been anything since then. Since they are the ones that do all of the recycling and such out in that area. They assist with the recycling grant as well.
We get us recycling, we get money back from
Yes.
recycling. Was it like $7,000?
It's about, trying to think of it the last time, I think it was about $11,000 or $12,000.
That's mainly due, I think, to that.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thought?
I always feel obligated to give you something.
Yeah.
What was the last one?
250.
250 was in 2022.
The year before was 500.
500, yeah.
That might have been when they were still picking up the recycling gear.
Let's go 250.
250?
I make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Discuss the 2025 preliminary budget and approve for advertisement. Who approved when must that be advertised?
Before we actually, before our November meeting. I'm sorry, before the December meeting.
So we can approve that next month.
Yes.
We have some more discussion without Scott here.
Okay.
Approve the SPM for Northeast Products. Did you look over that?
I did.
And I don't see anything that's sticks out that's.
Yeah, this is just a form they have to fill out in order for them
The
to,
module plan.
be able to connect to public sewer.
I make a motion that we approve that.
I'll second.
All in favor? Okay, old business. Discuss the Warm Castle survey and resolve property corner issues. We're gonna go into executive session right now for that.
You wanna do that now?
You wanna do that now?
It's up to you.
It's on the agenda.
I know, it's up to you if you wanna do the exec now or if you wanna do it later.
Should we do it at the end?
You can do it, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna postpone, we're not going into executive session, we'll do that at the end. Mailbox and School Road and Fleetwood Lions Road update. Anybody have anything?
Jeff and I went and looked at it, and we talked with the neighbors. They are concerned about crossing Fleetwood Lions Road there and the site distance pulling out onto Fleetwood Lions Road from School Road. We talked with, not the postmaster, but somebody else, I forget what that guy's title was. He seemed very helpful. He's going to look at the routes. He's actually in charge of planning the routes for the drivers. So I think there's like a dozen or more mailboxes from Fleetwood Lions Road out to Aldi Road that could potentially be moved to the opposite side of the road.
That's probably as much of a hazard as pulling out there,
Yeah. and I
crossing
mean,
that thing to collect the mail. I didn't think about that.
The other thing is, when you get a package, they have to drop it off at the person's house anyway. So we've seen the mailman put mail in the people's boxes, go down to Drivewell Road, turn around, and go back up to drop the packages at the people's houses. So he's going to be looking at that. We did get into the Burkholder field there to mow back the brush. They took the beams off. We were just able to do that today. And so that's where we stand with that right now.
Boy, that would be a great idea. Put that on the other side. And that, I would not want to walk across that at any point of the day or night. Good job, Robbie.
Simple.
Simple fix. Discuss updating the ordinances.
We did not, I had not dug into that one very deep, but we did look at some of the standards, and ironically, some of the plans that have just came through, they all the same waivers. So I think there's probably about 4 different aspects of the ordinances that I think we are gonna be looking to change. They're pretty standard changes. I mean, I've seen it done in other places. I think it's just good to get it caught up to speed.
Yeah, I mean, I'll like waivers and stuff. It seems like we're granting them anyway.
Yeah, it's the
Makes sense.
cello and the stormwater, I think, are the two that
The
were,
seepage, the plan scale, and the stormwater.
yeah, and
And
Yeah,
the
there's
electric
a couple of
signs,
the
you wanted that checked out
Yeah,
too.
the electric sign thing seems a little outdated for one of the red and green flashing something that was
Yeah.
just something that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
still
think
in
a lot of
ordinance
those
when it first came out, so.
Is that something, just looking to, that you would want the PC to look at and make recommendations to you? Or do you want to see it first?
So the pieces, I guess, okay, these guys, write and give it to them. That'd be fine. That's their, we're just trying to make it a little better for the planning commission also.
yeah, I just, to tackle beyond the ones that we knew that were the standard ones and just going through the recent plans, I haven't dug in there just to look to see if there's a couple other ones that,
Yeah, I
if we're
think,
gonna
it's-
do it,
yeah,
to try to make sure.
I think we do it all at once. That'd be great. Okay, engineer report, solar farm.
Do you want to touch on the renewal of the permit district? Yeah.
We have had a request for a 183-day temporary occupancy permit, which would expire on April the 15th. And this would coincide hopefully with when the Conservation District will allow the permit to be closed out. Hopefully, everything will be fully established next spring. So that's why that is on there.
The settling ponds or the seepage ponds, they were gonna rework the following week. That didn't happen, but has that happened since the last meeting?
It should have been.
So they did get in there, they mobilized then the pond, say, furthest from the substation. That one they fixed, and it was infiltrating, it just wasn't growing anything. So they kind of worked at the seed mixture they think is gonna work. Unfortunately, it's been just as dry as can be again, so they haven't really seen if that's gonna take, but it's seeded waiting for the to rain. The other one, that one they actually had their engineer look at. Basically, they came in and just did the same ripping like they did for the other sections of the site. So they did that, retilled it, seeded it again, but again, it's just sitting without rain, so it hasn't had a chance to take it all. So hopefully that did take care of it. They've gone through and fixed any of the areas that were getting eroded coming off the side of the hills there. They did a lot of their conversions that they needed to do, but there's still some items on the punch list they still have to do. Unfortunately, as Jeff was saying, that extension ties into conservation district saying it wasn't in time for them to close it out because of seeding, so there's gonna be a next spring. Technically, I think most of the other, those ponds they refixed has taken and I think it's stable for the winter. I really do, looking at it, but, yeah, I think in the next few months here, they're gonna be looking at trying to close out the punch list item. We'll still have some hanging until the spring for when the NPDS permit gets closed out, but generally speaking, that's where we're at right now. One of the items, if we touch on it real quick here, if you want to touch on the pipe.
Yeah, one of the items on the punch list was replacing a culvert pipe on Weaver's Road, and if the board would consider it, I think my client would be willing and prefer to make a contribution to the township so that they're not digging up one of your roads to make any more repairs there, but to fix the damage that's there, as well as on the sides of Weaver's Road. So if that sounds reasonable or like something you would entertain, probably ask Scott to take a look at it and give an estimate of what would be required there to replace it the way he wanted to, was expecting to have it done.
I'd be okay with that.
I think that.
Yeah, things correctly.
Yeah, I just figured since it's not part of their work, it'd be the township having somebody come in and do that work, as long as you're open to it. I mean, we're gonna be getting quotes and looking for somebody in the area to look at it, try to do that, so
It's something we can probably get to, we just have to get an estimate for it. At least we know what was done there.
Yeah.
Which would probably be the best.
Robbie did a great job with the macadam under the bridge. It looks really good.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah, we originally discussed this thinking that you'd potentially be able to do it with the work under the bridge, but I see I was out there this evening, I see that's all done,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
We're just waiting for the rain to see if it works.
Yeah, as they are for the seeding. I think they are considering getting a water truck out there to try to get it watered to get some germination.
Probably would be a bad idea.
Right.
Yeah, it's been super dry with no relief. It's like,
The only other thing on the solar farm, there is a requirement that a year after they have been generating power, that they have to have the decommissioning cost in place, per the ordinance. Andrew just dropped that off here, so we'll take a look at that. We'll review that and figure out what needs to be posted, but it'll have to be before the end of the year, so that's moving.
Do we still need to do the decommissioning agreement? Don't know that we ever did the actual agreement.
I think there was a decommissioning, I think there were provisions in the developer agreement, unless you're looking for like some kind of a decommissioning plan or something like that. But I think there were, I didn't take a look at it before I came over this evening, but I thought we had provisions in there that provided that it would have to be redone every 5 years, similar to what the ordinance says.
Mhm.
And every 5 years, they'd be submitting an estimate and updating the security amount.
We'll take a look at that and have a conversation as part of this.
Okay.
It's been a while since I did
Yeah,
that language,
I
so.
didn't think to pull that out. I was happy to finally get the decommissioning estimate from Kinley Horn.
Can I just make one comment? I'm sorry, I came in late. The retention pump, well, I don't know if it's really called a retention pump, but the one by the railroad culvert, I thought that one had to be redone, but it obviously wasn't. I mean, there's lots of high grass in there. Wasn't that one of the items that had to be redone because it doesn't really do its purpose?
So it was, honestly, I think that one had been taking a lot of the water and infiltrating it rather well, and you didn't see it hold a lot of water. There was kind of a question on, did it get installed properly with the outlet in between that one and then the one closer to Fleetwood Lions? they did get in there at the end of the summer and they came through and they're calling it the ripping it, where they put the blades down and went through the whole pond and redid the soils there, because
The one at the, right there at the railroad culvert is the one, but no, there would, I mean, there's still really high grass in there. That one hasn't been touched.
yeah, I mean, we have pictures of it where they came in and did the work. They came in through and ran the blades through there and, you know, I take it back, they didn't do the ripping, that was the pond itself. The ponds, they came in and they just tilled the dirt. But they did till that during the summer and redid that. And Yeah, 'cause I know they had to cut it
To
down.
see pictures of that, because I mean, the grass is really high and, I mean, like excessively high. I mean, it's obvious that it doesn't look like there was any kind of ripping or
Yeah,
Is
I
there
mean,
one of the
we can
ponds-
get the pictures.
Is there one of the ponds that they didn't work?
They did everything over again simply because they were supposed to. There was areas between those two ponds that they didn't want to do. And I just because this is kind of a pretty important project here, I said, if you want to do that, that's fine, but show that you're going to get the same rates and productivity out of that from where it's at now to what it's supposed to be. And they just said, well, we have the equipment here, we're just going to do it, till it up again.
I know the area she speaks of.
yeah, there's been no.
Yeah, I don't think they touched that.
I thought
There's
they
been no
tried to see-
activity there.
It is the pond, and I don't even call that
Right, that's why I said
retention.
lack of,
That's more or less a waterway,
right.
but it's an enormous waterway.
It's,
And I guess the idea was the water to come underneath the railroad bridge and then it spreads out and then it comes back around. That never retains water. That's a pass through there. I always questioned that because it's an
Well, that's-
awful lot of acreage there just to pass water through.
because it never holds the water.
It doesn't hold.
And I saw the same thing during the winter,
So,
when we had one of the worst rains, the upper portion doesn't have any
no, it
water,
doesn't.
and the lower
And I
grass was
was
so high,
questioning,
yeah, I've seen it.
was that by design?
I thought they did.
Did somebody get the
If
math
they didn't,
wrong?
No, they're, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, it's just, it's waist high, Foxtail Mountain is what it is.
but they had come through and cut everything at one point, right?
They didn't cut that.
They don't touch that, no.
I thought they.
No, they didn't
I
touch
thought
that.
this was part of,
And you're right,
Mhm.
it doesn't look very good. It
Right.
looks like a weed patch, was what
That's
it is.
exactly what it looks like.
So maybe check that out.
yeah.
But I always
I
questioned
apologize, I
there
didn't-
if there wasn't a design problem there, because that might be 4 acres, 5 acres. That's a pretty sizable piece of ground there, and that does nothing except pass water through. Nothing stops there.
Yeah, I mean,
It
when
just doesn't.
we had asked about this, I had checked they had sent us an as-built before the end of the project just to check the outlet inverts, because the other one was up right before going under the road. And as Floyd had always questioned whether or not that was in properly. But per the plan and per their as-builts, the survey matches what they're supposed to.
Well, I don't know that there's anything that retains water in there. Is there
It's not
a
necessary.
dam there of some sort? I don't think there is.
There is a pipe passing from one pond to the next.
But is there a breast there in that pond?
It's not necessary.
There's nothing to retain it?
No, and honestly, the other pond, as it leaves the site, that pipe, it looks like it's flush with the ground as well. Now, that's amended soil, so there's supposed to be like a storage area
Yeah.
in the soils for before it leaves, but generally speaking, the pipe is pretty much flat with that ground. But it's basically the rates that it's leaving is always much less than what it was before. That was the design and that includes all of the water from like the pass through, so everything beyond the solar farm. So all of that down to that pipe is really regulating what it was pre to the post, and it's a lot less. Now, everybody says there's a lot of water still coming through. Yes, but technically it's just physically constrained where it can't be more than, or even near what it was before.
Yeah, I get it. It's supposed to reduce the flow. But I always questioned
I know,
why that lot of that acreage there does nothing, when that could be retaining water as well. And that, I mean, 5 acres, you could retain a lot of water there. It just seems like, I don't know, it just seems like they forgot about something. Like a dam, like a breast. But maybe I'm wrong, maybe there was another, I don't know. I
Well,
don't build ponds for a living, but.
yeah, I've looked at where the inverts are in and out of it, but as far as the overall size of that pond, and if it was graded, I can't say yet. As-built, which we really haven't got the final as-built yet, to see where that lands. I'll look at that a lot closer. I apologize if I'm saying they were doing it, they did do it. But that's-
Yeah, that pond has not been touched since they did it.
Because they don't mow them
I thought
ponds, they
No,
really
they
don't
they
mow
don't
them
mow the
ponds,
pond, but
or whatever that
there
is.
again, maybe they don't mow it by design, maybe that's to slow the water down. I just question whether or not something isn't overlooked there.
So they're
If
not,
you could look into that and tell me, explain to me why that doesn't retain water, I'd really be curious to know.
I will absolutely.
So, and can I just so I understand, so I can pass this along, but are we talking about the facility that's right after you come under, right after the water will
Just on
come
the
under
north
the
side.
bridge, goes through there's some riprap
Yeah.
there into just kind of a very wide, it almost
And it
looks like a
opens into a big meadow.
floodplain. Right, it almost looks like a floodplain
It does.
going down through there, okay. And you're saying that, because I drove out there before the meeting this evening, that looked like it had been mowed.
Unless they did it just recently,
Okay,
like yesterday.
Yes. It was not.
Yeah, I don't think they.
I know they were
Back to
doing,
the railroad, I mean, the work that you did back there, you drove back on Saturday.
Yeah.
So Saturday was not done yet.
Yeah, there's a strange piece of ground there that I think was designed for retention. The only problem
Yeah, I can't-
is that it doesn't retain anything.
I can't remember if it was designed for retention or to spread the water out to slow the rate.
Yeah,
before
and
it
that
got to
might be,
the other
I don't
ponds,
know
I'm
what
not sure.
the theory was behind it. But it's just curious that the water just passes right through. I don't know. But Scott will find out for me.
I will, yeah, I'll look into that and send something by email just as a follow-up and say,
Yeah,
here's what we're seeing.
okay.
All right. Willow Crest.
New motion on this temporary.
Oh,
I don't necessarily know if we need to. I think it's just an
we can make one.
extension of that if we think we need to.
Doesn't hurt to do that, we have it.
The solicitor. I'll make a motion that we approve a temporary occupancy permit time extension for 183 days to 4/15/25.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know where we are if you need anything, if you have any questions.
Yep.
So just get in contact with us. Thank you.
Thanks, Hank. Willow Crest, Jen had been pushing MedEd just enough to get some responses finally. There's some work that they're saying Grande has to get back in there and redo.
The disconnects.
Yeah, the placement of some of the disconnects. They're going to install the 2 light posts that need to get installed on Rhino Drive. The existing poles are just gonna be putting like the snake heads on there or whatever they're gonna put on. But Grande, we forwarded that information to them. They have to do that work. They're looking to coordinate with us to try to figure out as far as the grading on those open spaces. They're pretty clear on the fields, but they want to know on the other side there. So we're still trying to coordinate with them on that. We have to do a walkthrough on the streets because those, just a refresher here, they're over 2 years from when they did pave those roads.
Right.
So they've been in, but we need to do a walkthrough with them. And the question is, do they want to maintain those roads or pay a fee in lieu of the liquid fuels that we went beyond? And that number is 2,565, I think is what it would be. But they said they want to do the walkthrough first and look at it and talk about the parks and see where it all lands and go from there. I have a feeling they're just going to be plowing for the winter, but we'll see. We're trying to push them to get this thing moving, but it's just been slow on their end.
All right. Jay's already land development plan expired.
Yep, I think we're officially past that. I don't know if we need to do anything.
I wasn't sure if we wanted to send, if we have Chris's office send a letter out stating the land development plan has expired and hey,
Money back.
here's your money back, yeah, basically. Just something official, not that I just give them the money back and they,
Yeah. What do you think, Michelle?
I'm somewhat familiar with this project. I did not talk to her specifically about this,
It's
but
a 10-year land development plan, ask for extension, ask for extension, ask for extension. Now, this was our last extension.
because he never wanted to pay the upfront escrow so the plan could be recorded, correct? We just kind of been going, so the plan, the reason I asked is this plan was never recorded. I didn't
Correct.
realize- Okay.
Correct.
Because I want to make sure we didn't need a nullification agreement.
Yeah.
So I Jim's recommendation is a good one, that we can send a letter saying pursuant to October 2022, your 2 years, at time's not expired.
I'll
Here's
make,
your money.
I'll make that a motion then.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Yeah, he has called me, I would say 3 times over the course of the summer. And I've always returned his calls. Some of the times I couldn't leave a message, and once or twice I could, and I have never, it's been crickets, so. Afforded him every possibility to explain what was going on, but he never got back to me, so.
And we want to advise him that if he wants to recommence land development, he needs to start from the beginning.
correct.
Perfect. Cubes.
They are looking to finalize that. They do need a reaffirmation of their land development plans. It's been more than 3 months since the board approved that plan. I did issue a letter recently that just has fees and the small couple items that they need to do. But it took them quite a long time to get their NPDES permits. That's what really kind of triggered this back into play. But they are pretty close to looking to get these things recorded and move forward. And again, that's the storage area just behind the speedway.
I have all my list agreements.
Yeah, I think agreements, they have to post their escrow yet. But for tonight, they're looking for the board to reaffirm the approval of their final plan. It has not changed since the last time.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Sheets, that's just an update. They're looking to do the same, but I believe they're still in their 90-day window. Yeah, I think they need to act on it before the end of, or before sometime next month, but they're looking to move forward as well. So it's nothing more than just an update.
So we have to reaffirm that too.
No, not yet. If they move, it should be all right. Unless there's any other questions, I didn't have any items to go over.
Solicitor's report, delinquent sewer.
So the first one on your list is for 22 Burke Road. This is scheduled for sheriff's sale for next week. In response, we have the sheriff's levy. In response to that, she reached out to Jim with a proposed payment plan. I believe it's $250 monthly,
Correct,
and that would be for both delinquent and current.
just $250 a month,
$250, so we would,
correct.
you do quarterly, correct?
Yes.
So we would divide the 3 months, your quarterly, and then apply that, and then anything else would go towards the billing. So if the board is so inclined to accept the payment plan, we would ask for acceptance of that, her execution of a payment plan, and we typically continue the sheriff's sale out for so many days to make sure she's, as long as they'll let us, to make sure she's with the payment plan. She's compliant with the payment plan. She told Jen, I believe she's had some illnesses.
But she had illnesses when we were asking her half a dozen times to pay before you send the sheriff out and go through all this. It really is. We offer a payment plan for people in trouble, but we have no response for her all these years.
I will say that they levied on a vehicle, so if you continue with the sheriff's cell township as before, we'd have to make arrangements to store the vehicle and then sell the vehicle. And she, of course, if you do the payment plan, will be responsible for any and all costs the township has incurred in accordance with your fee schedule.
I don't think the vehicle has much value.
It's just,
I would, I mean, at this point, I think we just go for the payment plan. Again.
what does it cost for them to not do the sheriff thing? Is that
We pay initially $300, so we would get whatever actual cost the sheriff has, and that would be part of the payment plan.
Yep.
So our cost involved,
for
that's
sheriff's
in the sheriff's, all the sheriff's costs, all the court costs that we've had to date.
And it's lean, right?
Yes, the property is liened. I'm not sure exactly when the lien was updated. We could like to see when the last lien was to make sure.
So I'll make a motion that we accept the payment plan and that we have Michelle's office update them. Or at least check it.
And continue the sheriff's cell.
Nah, well, the sheriff sells for next week. We'll accept the payment plan.
That's what I mean, but we'll continue the sheriff's cell out. You're not going to take the payment next week.
No,
Okay, so we'll ask the sheriff to continue the cell. The continue, when I mean continue, I mean like postpone, sorry.
oh, yeah, yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah, I'm sorry, we're going all the same language here. I'll second. All in favor? Aye.
That was the big one. 516 Park Road, I do not believe we have filed a lien or taken a complaint. And that's over $1,100.
I did send a letter out last time for the meeting, I did send a letter out, anything under $1,000. I did send a letter out to those people.
Or over. You said under. You said a
I'm
letter.
sorry, everything over $1,000, yes.
Yeah, I think we put a lien on that. That's a repeat offender.
Yes.
I make that motion. All in favor? Aye.
And 329 Southview, although he has been provided it twice, the payment plan has not been returned signed, however, he is making payments, I believe.
Yes.
So is 11, you paid up, that has a line through it?
Yes. That was
And,
surprising to me, so yes,
and 458 Main Street, Burnsville.
yes.
No.
Yeah, I believe they got behind a little bit, but reached out to Jen and have,
The insurance check came in
and they paid.
yeah, they sent their over to us.
All right.
That is all I have.
All right. Motion to approve generators for the pump station. Robbie, are you aware what needs to be done there for the pump station, for the new generators, as far as concrete fence?
This one that Scott sent over for Pleasant Hill, I think he's still waiting on one from, a quote from Curtis Power Systems that they are waiting on to see if they're both CoStars, CoStar vendors, but this was the first one that they sent through. We did not have the other one done yet.
Yeah. I would like to see at least the second quote.
Well, this is the second quote, or is it? This one's from Curtis.
How was that? I'm sorry.
No Curtis.
Oh. I have power truck.
And then this one. The next one.
That's right, I'm sorry, that is the second one.
No, you hold this back here.
Oh, I didn't get that for you. Oh, there's the second. Okay.
Which is quite a bit more.
Which one is this? Here's the other.
Well, I got this today. What if you look over it? So this,
This
yeah.
one includes fence.
correct. That's what I was just gonna say, and this one doesn't.
And it looks like it's a sort of a generator.
Yeah. So I'm inclined to go with Powertron.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's a neat generator. It's good gen set.
I make the motion, we take the, approve the quote from Powertron generators.
I'll second. All in favor?
Robin, did you see what they need here?
I briefly looked over it, I didn't.
They're gonna set the pad and fence, so you might have to do some blacktopping work, right? Is that what you're doing, just a little between the,
I thought the one pad was outside of the fenced in area on Pleasant Hill Road.
no, they're
It
putting,
does say poured concrete pad per spec by others.
no, here, poured concrete pad per specs provided.
Okay, I read it. You're right. I thought it was under the others category here. It's usually what it's like, but I see. Oh, they're a different other.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Whatever it is, it seems a little rough. They're gonna put a new fence and a pad outside where it's at. You might have to connect some blacktop is what I'm reading.
That's fine.
Yeah, but he talks about it in the initial statement.
Yeah.
Good.
Roadmasters report. Anything you wanna add, Robbie?
I don't think so, no. I just, the only thing would be is I'm not sure how we go about doing that Weaver's Road project or the repair for the pipe. Don't know how that's all gonna work out. We must come up with an estimate for that.
I mean, I would say if it's something that we go out, look at, and it's not anything that you want to take on, if you guys have a contractor or two that you trust to do that work, if we get that quote from them, that's another option, and I think they're.
Whatever you think, Robbie, just so that it's done right.
Yeah. Just come up with a quote.
If you want to, yeah,
It's just
Why don't we-
replacing the pipe there and then milling the edge of the road
yeah.
up further.
I think-
Regardless if we do it or they do it, we still have to put a number together to present to them.
Right, I see.
So,
And maybe you get a number put
Yeah.
together from somebody outside of us to make sure that we're
Yeah.
being, you know what I mean, fair.
I see.
You know what I mean? Here's the best quote we got, but we can do it for the same amount.
Right.
And you decide that.
Somebody helped out with the pavement under the bridge there? Was there anybody that helped out with that?
well, it was, they just used the boroughs. The borough had a paper.
Okay.
that they wrote.
Yeah, I mean, there was somebody that you guys had give a quote on it previously.
Yeah, but he retired.
I don't know. Never mind.
I have an answer, question. Timothy Drive at the light pole entrance is one out yesterday, last night. These guys fixed them? Light pole,
Is
Uh,
that Med Ed?
that's Med Ed.
who do you contact, man, then?
Jen
Do I have to call them, or somebody have to call them?
Jen hasn't thrown a first name basis.
Yeah, it just went out yesterday.
You have to know the poll number.
I actually, yeah.
I'll call you tomorrow with it. It's
Okay.
right below it.
They should be right on the pole.
Metal tag.
It'll be a yellow strip on the pole.
I'll get it for you.
Yeah,
Yeah, just when I pulled in last night, it was going out.
yeah, you noticed that.
Yeah, Robert, I think if, I can meet you out there one morning or something, just look at it. And talk about it from there and get a couple names around and get some quotes on that one, I think. I think it's a good idea, just, as you said, you're gonna have to get a number anyway.
No, yeah, close just to be fair.
Yeah,
That's fine.
And if you want to tackle it, you can.
Yeah, it's just a pipe and just milling out the edge of the road. What were you talking about a while ago out at,
The mailbox.
yeah, what, just
From
the
them bringing
breaking
the
up
big
there?
trucks in.
Yeah, I
like,
saw what you were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised the mailman
It's
does not complain about that.
It's
'cause
not
it's
the Fleetwood Lions Road that broke up, but it's that corner of Weaver,
Yes,
first, right there on the corner of Weaver.
it's bad,
Right where the mailboxes are, it's just, the edge of the road's broken off.
yes.
'Cause I did see that, I just wanted to be
Yes.
sure if that's.
Yeah.
You'll get a quote.
Include that in.
yeah, I was gonna say,
also.
let's fix that too.
Okay.
Yep.
I'd like to try and do that this year, obviously, before it gets too cold.
Yeah.
To do the blacktop work.
We can still get blacktop.
Yep, that's fine with us, if you can get that done.
Okay.
And I did have a resident call in and compliment you on trimming the tree on Mine Road. That was a while ago you trimmed it?
I think like a month ago, maybe.
Yeah, he said you did a great job.
Well, it wasn't us.
Well, whoever you did. Listen, I told him it was you, so,
That's fine. I'll take
but
credit.
whether you physically do it or you get it done, you're taking credit, Robbie,
Fair enough,
right?
fair enough.
So I just want to pass that on to you.
I'm still gonna tell everybody about Robbie.
Hey, Robbie, directly or indirectly, Robbie made it happen. So I was accurate with that. Payment of the bills?
Okay, for the general fund, we had check numbers 11,642 to 11,694, including EFTs for $301,335.81.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it. All in favor? Aye.
State fund, there were no checks. Light fund, check number 2176 for $760.28.
Make a motion with that.
I'll second it. All in favor? Aye.
Sewer fund, we had check numbers 3243 to 3252, including EFTs for $33,329.08.
I'll make a motion with that.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye.
Walnut Town Fire Escrow, check number 2184 for $1,084.
I'll make a motion to pay.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye.
Virginville Fire Escrow, check number 2185 for $1,084.
And I'll make a motion to pay.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye.
And I have nothing else.
The fuel tax audit.
Yes, that you received today. It was just a confirmation that everything was fine.
Yeah, that's what I read. I couldn't, it's how many pages, but it just
Yes.
basically
Yeah,
said the same
basically,
thing.
they had emailed it once before, just stating this is what happened. They just had to send a formal letter out, just stating that there were no issues.
Yeah, that's what I got out of it. I just
Yep.
wanted to confirm
Yep,
that.
absolutely.
Okay, we're gonna go into executive session now.
There may be action required, so I would not recommend you adjourn.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe action required.
Can you join?
Has anybody ever declined that request?
You don't need me anymore, Brian.
I think we're good, thank you.
Thank you.
What?
I think that's kind of the place. Some of the same trees. Oh, it's in New York. It was like small stuff. I just drew. Just past that telephone pole before you get there. If you look at the grass, you can see a white circle. That's the property corner. No. But the mine, the mine, but it's like 2.5 feet. That's what, how far I can see it. I don't want to just bury it. I want to do it in the middle. There's a couple of years ago, when he was there, he wanted more. There were people, I showed up. You can see it. And if you look back, the whole way back, the property of Timothy is a pin. Because I'm not sure that was, you know, the survey. I know it's the fence there. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's that fence.
They-
That's the whole reason I actually wanted to see that.
Alright, see ya.
See, you guys paid.
You did a good job down the road.
Thank you.
It's very nice, so I'm anxious to see then what happens when it rains.
Me too.
To see what happens, yeah, because that's always washed down there. I mean, we've lived back there now for 40 years,
Yeah.
and it's always gets bad. So see what happens when it rains, because it just comes gushing out of the fields. I mean, it looks good. Hopefully people won't use that now as a racetrack.
Next rain, we gotta be a monsoon.
Yeah, definitely not.
Everything's washed out.
See ya.
Everything's a racetrack these days. Liver. Had it towards Mount Penn, in a trash truck. And there was seller's traffic coming. So I slowed up and I stopped. And until I could get going again, I think it was 4 cars around me at speed. Yeah. And then, was it Friday? I think it was Friday. You're over there. There's a short stretch of road. And it's like, the road comes up this way, and then the street comes like this. So it's flat, and then it goes down to Carsonia Avenue. And we were unloading the skid loader off the truck. So we're partially blocking that way. Well, I go to turn around, and this guy he's just gonna go right around us. There was like 2 cars going up there. I'm like, where are you? Still? Yeah. I was like, they don't even slow down. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Could get somebody seriously injured or killed. We were in the building working. All of a sudden, you heard, oh. Well, I got the front and I looked. Sure enough. Some guy must have been looking at the way he was either looking at right in the back of the other car.
Bucks County,
Yeah, I saw that.
I was there.
Yeah.
I drove. Feel free. Shook my hand. Awesome. And my son. Listen to this crack back box. See ya. I'm out of here.
See you later.
Enjoy, man.
Yeah.
Should just go, I can watch it on video later.
That is pretty slick in the solar farm. 56,000 on the full year now. Yeah. Think about it. Their extension of everything. What over here? Year. Because they first asked for temporary occupancy in April. And then they generated some figure of something. It's okay, the job we're doing, we want permit shit here. So it's all cutting, jackhammer floor, traction. Tossing in the parking lot. Pile of dirt that's growing, pile of concrete that's growing. Guys like, oh yeah, we'll go get them, then you can post them in the window. This is the project manager, and they said, where are we at in permitting? They're sitting over there, but I can't get them yet because of zoning. I don't know what the delay is, but it's like, why would you be doing any work if you don't have your permits? Because we're assuming that, you know. They're just like, go, 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 go. 3 months, 3 months, we're gonna be done in 3 months. I'm gonna bust one day out. I called them on Saturday night. I was out on out front. This tad Prius comes up the street, kind of moves like a part on the road, part on that little field across out from my drive. Guy gets out, kind of looks at me, and then he goes down the street. I'm like, that seems like that's weird. And I walked there, and then I took pictures in the back of the car. And it was like, I think Harris, Waltons, Stomp. Boom. I think we were fucking called the guy.
Okay, we're back from executive session, going back into the regular meeting. The executive session was on possible litigation. So we're out of that executive session. Any public participation from the floor? Okay, I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor? Thanks, Michelle.
Oh, my pleasure.
We messed up the schedule.
That worked out, so. Just trying to put my to-do list together here.